This could possibly be the best gaming keyboard in the world. I'm Swingy Kyle, and we're going to take a look at one of the most innovative keyboards on the market today, the Wooting 60HE. Some might refer to it as the best keyboard for gaming, others may think it's a one-trick pony. Only thing it's good for is a short stroke. We'll get into how short the strokes, actuation is here in a little bit. Let's take a look at the build quality first. The case itself is made of a high-quality ABS plastic. It uses the 60% universal mounting system, so that way if you want to put it in a different case, you feel free to if that's your kind of thing. The switch plate is a zinc-coated galvanized steel that really prevents it from giving much flex, if any flex at all. The one big thing that I know that it's missing here in the case and in the build quality, there's no feet. That may be a deal breaker for some, but I will say that it has a nice slant to it. So it's not flat. It's not flat at all. The keyboard comes standard with the Wooting double shot PBT black keycaps that will fit in with just about any setup. The one thing that isn't standard is the nylon take control strap. You can leave it off, you can keep it on. It reminds me a lot of the handles for the purses that you take out clubbing. You might be wondering what is so innovative about this keyboard other than the nylon take control strap. The game changer in the Wooting 60HE is the linear Gateron X Lecker switches. The keen among you may have noticed the HE at the end of the Wooting's name. That stands for Hall effect. This keyboard uses freaking magnets to send an analog signal that gives you some of the shortest actuations that you can find anywhere. Wooting claims the Gateron X Lecker switches can be clicked over 100 million times without any issues. I have over 100 plus hours using the Wooting 60HE, and I've had zero mechanical issues. Oh yeah, I forgot, this video isn't sponsored at all. So all the likes and subscribes are a huge help to me, and I really appreciate it. By using the Hall effect switches, it will give you some of the shortest actuations and resets that you can find even in comparison to optomechanical switches. It can be programmed so it only takes 0.1 millimeters or 3/1000 of an inch if you measure in bald eagles for the key press to be registered. The same stands true for releasing the key. It allows you for rapid input of keys back to back to back to back. Minute actuation can be a really big problem depending on what game you're playing. Nobody likes a premature ultimate. That is where the Wooting Wootility software comes into play. And before I forget, you can use a Chromium-based browser instead of downloading the software. It's a great quality of life improvement over a lot of software. I'm looking at you, Razer. Synapse is a menace. The Wooting Wootility allows you to change the actuation point on a key-by-key basis. For example, if you're playing League of Legends, you set Q, W, and E the 0.01 actuation. Then you set Q the 4 millimeters in actuation. That way you're able to rapidly fire off your primary abilities, and then your ultimate takes a real stroke. It takes a real actuation, so that way you don't accidentally use it. Wootility also allows for rapid keying. What that really does is as soon as you release that key from going down, the actuation resets and you're able to repress it. So if you're a bunny hopping beast, you can accentuate that to the greatest ability possible. Besides the rapid trigger, it offers something called tachyon mode. Tachyon mode optimizes your keyboard for input speed, but at the cost of turning off the RGB mode. Unless your RGB is getting you W's, you might want to turn this on. Speaking of RGB, the Wooting 60HE allows for per key RGB changing. But with the Lecker switches and how the actuation of analog works, you can really do some really cool effects. There's a touch RGB effect that lights up the top row of keys in a linear fashion depending on how far the key is actuated. Jelly, which uses the Hall effect to light up a certain amount of area based on the key actuation. And you have AOE, which changes the brightness of the 6 surrounding keys based on the depth of actuation. The Wooting 60HE allows up to 4 profiles to be stored directly on the keyboard. That includes your linear settings, your rapid trigger settings, and your RGB. All in all, I think the Wooting 60HE is an amazing piece of hardware. Now, I said earlier that I didn't have any mechanical issues. I did have a couple issues with the Wootility. Now, when I say that, I gotta be transparent. I hadn't updated the Wootility. It has some issues where I didn't use it right. It wasn't that hard to fix. All I had to do was uninstall the software and reinstall it. I had to have a second keyboard for that, but that's on me. And on their website, they suggest that you use the web-based browser version. I give the Wooting 60HE a 9 out of 10. I think it's a wonderful keyboard. At a price point of $175 before shipping and tax, I really wish Wooting would have given us adjustable feet, but I would recommend it for any super serial gamers out there. They also offer the Wooting in a full-size keyboard called the Wooting 2HE. When you're competing in this price range, I really put it up there with the Optomechanical keyboard, something like the Deathstalker from Razer or the K100 from Corsair. In all honesty, I would recommend this over those any day of the week. The Wooting Wootility is absolutely amazing. Now, will the Wooting 60HE turn you into an esports superstar overnight? Probably not. It will give you your best chance to beat out opponents that are in the same skill bracket as you. Bronze to bronze, silver to silver, gold to gold. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for more tech content. I really appreciate it.